He's eating all my cornfields!
It starts with a pig eating corn and ends with Jake yelling like a war general. Card Wars looks ridiculous, and that's the point, because under the spells and shouting, this is really a story about ego, friendship, and what happens when winning matters more than who you're playing with.
Play! You play!
The episode starts with Finn finishing his sandwich and juice, looking relaxed. Jake walks in holding a box, and that's when Finn notices something's off.
Hey Jake, what's wrong? You look dumpy. Is it because of that metal box?
Jake brushes it off, says it's nothing. But eventually he opens up.
Lady Rainicorn doesn't want to play the game Card Wars with me. I always beat her.
That line says a lot more than Jake realizes. He doesn't miss the game, he misses the connection. But instead of adjusting how he plays to make it fun for Lady as well, he just wins. Again and again, until there's no one left who wants to play. We've all known someone like this. Maybe we've even been that person. Whether it's a board game, video game, or just being too good at something. Sometimes we push people away for taking things too seriously. Not because we mean to, but because we want to feel valued. Finn's never heard of Card Wars, but once Jake calls it super complicated and awesome, Finn's in.
It is, man, but I still totally want to play it.
They started clearing the table. Drinks are out. Bimo rolls by and wants no part of it.
I do not play such games with Jake.
At first it sounds funny, a throwaway line. But as we'll later see, it's a warning. Finn's confused, but he lets it go. Jake pours soda into 2 cups, but one of them's getting special treatment. He mixes in coffee grounds, beetle butter, grape jelly, kimchi, even ham chunk juice. Then he labels them. Loser's a dweeb, winner's the cool guy.
We drink when the game is over.
Finn gags just looking at it, but he's all in. Then Jake begins explaining the rules, all of them.
That's basically the basics.
Finn barely understood a word, but Jake's energy is off the charts. And then he says something that feels small, but hits deep.
But if you don't know the rules, then you're gonna lose in the first couple rounds, like Lady always does. And then you'll hate the game, and then you'll hate me, and then...
That's not the game talking. That's insecurity. Jake doesn't just want to win, he wants to feel valued while doing it. There's something deeply relatable here. How often do people mix up being good at something and being worthy of love or respect? It's why some folks turn everything, even a board game, into a performance. Because if they're not winning, they're afraid they'll stop mattering. And you can feel Jake already going there. He's not just playing, he's tying the outcome to how he sees himself. But Finn just shrugs it off with a smile.
You think you're gonna win? I'm gonna crush you!
The game begins. Jake sets up his cornfields and Husker Knights like a general planning a siege. Finn, he's not overthinking it, he's just enjoying the moment. And then it happens.
I flooped the pig.
What?
Finn plays the pig. Once it's flooped, it runs past Jake's knights, slips through the storm, and then starts tearing into its cornfields.
He's eating all my cornfields. My Husker Knights draw energy from corn.
And just like that, Finn wipes out Jake's entire setup. It's a beautiful moment of accidental genius. Finn didn't even need to study or plan. He just made the right move at the right time because he wasn't trying to dominate, he was just trying to play. And suddenly, for Jake, it doesn't feel like a game anymore. It feels like a challenge. Not to his skill, but to his status. Because if Finn is having fun and winning, then what does being good at the game really prove? The truth is, respect doesn't come from dominating the room or always being in control. It comes from how you show up when someone else takes the spotlight. Being the cool guy was never about crushing the competition. It's about knowing how to lose with grace and still keeping the game fun for everyone else. The more Finn wins, the more Jake starts losing it. Emotionally, not just in the game.
Cornfields are awesome! What makes you think you know so much about Card Wars?
His tone changes. He's not joking anymore. Every time Finn makes a move, Jake gets more on edge. He starts over-explaining, giving half orders, trying to steer the game.
You're supposed to discard a card and pick up a new one.
Finn keeps going, and his plays get smarter. He studies the board, sets up a cave for the pig to rest, and starts thinking ahead. And that's when it starts to feel familiar, like watching a parent struggle as their kid gets better at something they once taught them, or a mentor realizing they're no longer the smartest one in the room. It's not just about losing, it's about feeling left behind, too. And here, Jake isn't adapting, he's reacting.
The seas have aligned and the 5 winds waft the smell of victory to my palace doors.
He's yelling like a mad king, casting spells, summoning nightmares.
I flooped a volcano.
That'll destroy your kingdom too, won't it?
Maybe.
Jake literally nukes the board. Everything burns. His army, Finn's kingdom, all of it. Because if he can't win with strategy, he'll just blow up everything and rebuild. And he does.
Now I reconstitute my cornfields using the Reclaim Landscape spell. My Husker Knights revive!
But Finn doesn't panic. He revives the pig. Again.
I flooped the pig.
And then the final result. Jake's strongest unit gets taken by Finn's spirit tower.
My spirit walker!
He can't take it anymore. He runs away from the table, ranting.
Maybe we should take a break?
Jake's frustration peaks. He grabs Finn, lifts him off the ground, and yells right in his face.
You play! You play!
This is where we finally see what BMO meant earlier.
I do not play such games with Jake.
Finn now understands. This isn't a sore loser moment, it's a meltdown. Jake isn't just bummed, he's spiraling. And we've seen this before in real life. A board game turning into a shouting match, a dad yelling at a ref during a kid's soccer game, or an online argument that starts with one comment and ends in full-blown caps lock. Because it's not losing that shows who we are, it's how we act when we're winning, or think we deserve to be. Jake wasn't losing by much, he still had chances, he had cards, but the idea that Finn might beat him, that was enough to crack his calm, because somewhere along the way, Jake forgot the most important part of any game. Winning matters less than how you handle it when things don't go your way. Right before the final round, Finn runs off for a break, but not to quit. He's looking for help.
BMO!
BMO drops in with a karate chop and the truth.
If Jake loses the game, he gets super depressed.
Finn's shocked. He only played to cheer Jake up, not to crush his spirit. So BMO gives him one simple order.
Finn, you must take a dive.
Finn agrees, kind of, but just as he tries to sneak away again.
Play the game.
Now, before the final blow is dealt, Finn makes one last move. He's still trying to lose without making it obvious. A quiet attempt to give Jake what he wants without hurting him more.
Alright, Jake, prepare for my ultimo attack!
I still got my wandering bald man.
Finn smiles, then says it.
I activate the pig to attack your wandering bald man.
That's stupid.
The pig charges. It's a ridiculous attack. Finn's hoping it fails,
Please lose, please lose!
but somehow it works. Jake's stunned. But now his cornfields are open again, and the game swings in his favor. And finally, after all the yelling, the explosions, and the flooping, Jake wins.
That's the game, boy! For the glory of Jakeoria!
He slams Finn's face into the table and starts gloating louder than ever.
In your face! Time to drink up.
But Finn doesn't look upset. He's calm, still smiling. Because at some point, he stopped trying to win. Jake takes a sip from the cool guy cup like it should mean something. Meanwhile, Finn picks up the dweeb cup, the nasty one. It's filled with kimchi, beetle butter, ham chunk juice, everything awful. And he drinks it.
You want a taste?
Ah, it's gross!
That's the twist. Jake wins the game, but doesn't get the feeling he was chasing. Finn loses, but he never feels small. But does Jake eventually learn this lesson as well?
Bleh, win! Win at all costs!
For that, we have to look at the episode Daddy-Daughter Card Wars.
Have you seen cards like this?
No, not today.
Jake shows off his beloved pig card to Charlie and BMO, the latter of which immediately dives off the boat, a warning sign that Jake's about to go full Jake again. But Charlie doesn't flinch. She agrees to join him for one Card Wars tournament match. In the first match, something feels different. Jake's not acting like his usual self. He's trying to keep it together, not because he's changed overnight, but because Charlie's watching.
Oh, no! Big deal.
That small moment says everything. In the past, he would have flipped out when things didn't go his way, but this time he keeps his cool. Which paints the clear picture that Jake also knows his behavior was wrong and that playing games isn't about winning anymore. Luckily, they win, and after their match, Charlie returns home just like she said.
Yeah, I'm out.
What?
One bone, one game.
But I'm not done burying my 20s.
And that's when Jake starts slipping. Now that he's alone, the old instincts creep back in. He even creates a card clone of Charlie just so he can stay in the tournament. The other players watch him do it, but no one says anything.
Lost your partner, huh? Hey, don't worry, we won't tattle.
And that's when we see the same old Jake again, the one he couldn't bury just yet.
I will crush you, Grand Prix.
And Jake notices as well.
What am I doing?
Without a word, he gets up and walks into the bathroom. Meanwhile, Charlie is performing a ritual at home to see her own future.
The deck is right. Let's see what the cards say.
At first, she treats it like a game, but as each card flips, it turns into something real. Her dad's life, one stage at a time. And suddenly, she sees it's not just his story, it might be hers too.
Dad was right. I've gotta fix these quote-unquote faults of youth.
By the end, she's not laughing, she's reflecting. And that's when it hits her.
I've been a total wand to my dad. I've gotta go help him.
Meanwhile, Jake's slipping even harder. That old voice comes back, the one that says,
Win! Win at all costs!
and he's trying to fight back.
No! I bury you!
It's funny and a little sad. Suddenly, Charlie shows up right when he needs her.
Be cool.
That line was enough for Jake to move on and grow up. They play their final match together. They don't win, but they don't need to. That's because Jake isn't trying to prove anything anymore. He's just there with his daughter, having fun. Once Jake let go of the need to win and hold on to something better, the joy of playing and his bond with Charlie, he started living. Real humility is how you act when you're in control. A real connection isn't about always being the winner, it's about knowing when the people you care about need you to be something more. We've all been there, trying to impress someone, trying to feel like you're enough. Whether it's at work, with family, or over something as silly as a game, we push so hard to prove ourselves that we forget what we're proving it for. Jake's not a bad friend, he just has human tendencies, even though he's a dog. He tied his self-worth to a win, and nearly lost something bigger in the process. And Finn, he didn't need revenge or a dramatic speech. He already showed what matters most: care over ego, kindness over pride. There's no grand apology at the end, no score to settle, just a weird drink, a confused grin, and something even stronger than a trophy: understanding. And if you think watching Jake spiral in this episode hits something real, just wait until you see the one where pride nearly costs him his brother. Click here to watch it, and you'll be able to listen to my supple and dramatic voice discuss some pretty heavy stuff. See you there.